This episode is brought to you by the Kirtland Partnership Committee. For 30 years, we've been dedicated to supporting, growing, and preserving the Kirtland National Security Complex. We work tirelessly to enhance military readiness, foster community partnerships, improve quality of life, and promote economic development right here in New Mexico. Join us in our mission to ensure that Kirtland remains a cornerstone of national security and a key provider of quality jobs and investment for all of Greater Albuquerque. Together, we can make a powerful impact. Kirtland Partnership Committee, proudly shaping the future of our national security for 30 years.
From the Albuquerque Journal, this is the leading news. I'm Gino Gutierrez. Today's Thursday, July 17th. Here's what we're covering on today's episode. New Mexico Attorney General Raul Torres has filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration over a nationwide freeze of nearly $7 billion in federal education funding, calling for bipartisan condemnation of the decision. Speaking at a news conference on Wednesday, Torres emphasized that the issue should transcend party lines and urged Trump supporters to speak out if they oppose the funding cuts. The funding freeze affects a range of public school programs, including after-school services, English language learner programs, immigrant support services, and teacher professional development. New Mexico could lose around $40 to $45 million according to the estimates from the state public education department and Torres's office. Santa Fe Public Schools alone expects a $2 million loss. The lawsuit, which is filed in a federal court in Rhode Island, includes over 20 Democratic attorneys general seeking an injunction to release the funds while litigation proceeds. Torres noted the lack of prior notice given to the districts, often just one day, making it nearly impossible for schools to adjust in time. Torres also criticized the freeze as a partisan move, but said his focus remains on protecting working families, regardless of political affiliation. The Republican Party of New Mexico dismissed the lawsuit as, quote, political theater, defending the funding pause as a step towards cutting federal overreach and prioritizing local control. The White House Office of Management and Budget, President Trump, and Education Secretary Linda McMahon have not publicly commented on the issue. Albuquerque and Bernalillo County are jointly launching a $4 million grant program to support local nonprofits that are addressing substance use disorders, making the first time the two governments have collaborated on spending opioid settlement funds. Each contributed $2 million from the massive opioid settlements New Mexico secured in 2022 and 2023, which could ultimately bring up to $1 billion to the state. The new initiative is aimed specifically at smaller nonprofits, those with an annual budget of under $2 million, to help build their capacity and long-term sustainability. Grants can also be used for staff training, infrastructure upgrades, and helping providers become Medicaid eligible. Proposals from nonprofits are due by August 7th, with funding expected to be distributed by late 2025. This is the county's first major allocation from the opioid settlement and the first formal joint project with the city of Albuquerque. So far, Albuquerque has used a significant portion of its settlement funds, committing $4.5 million to three separate Gateway Center projects. $2.25 million was set aside for a medical sobering center that's set to open later this summer, providing detox services for up to 50 people. $1.4 million was earmarked for a first responder receiving area to handle urgent behavioral health needs after hours. And $950,000 was set aside for a Gateway Recovery, which is a tiny home community supporting individuals in long-term addiction recovery. Bernalillo County, meanwhile, had previously allocated $1.2 million towards its Keep New Mexico Alive public awareness campaign. Together, the city and county are projected to receive over $150 million from the settlements, with annual installments expected through 2038. Two-term state senator Harold Pope Jr. has officially launched a campaign for lieutenant governor of New Mexico, setting the stage for a Democratic primary contest against outgoing state land commissioner Stephanie Garcia Richard. Pope, who was elected in 2020 to represent Albuquerque's west side, made history as the state's first African-American senator and brings a background as a U.S. Air Force veteran. In announcing his candidacy, Pope said he believes the lieutenant governor role would allow him to serve New Mexicans more effectively, particularly by advocating for expanded veteran services and amplifying the voices of working families. He also positioned himself as a potential asset to the Democratic ticket in the 2026 general election. While Pope has received past support from political heavyweights like U.S. Interior Secretary Deb Haaland, he said he plans to remain neutral in the upcoming three-way gubernatorial primary between Haaland, Bernalillo County District Attorney Sam Bregman, and former Las Cruces Mayor Ken Miyagi-Shima. Under New Mexico's systems, candidates for governor and lieutenant governor run separately in the primaries and are later paired by party in the general election. Pope won't have to vacate his Senate seat to run for lieutenant governor, as his term runs through 2028. Pope said he will only leave the Senate if he's elected to this new office, and noted that he and Garcia Richard, who announced her campaign in March, have agreed to keep their race, quote, friendly and professional, though he cited his Senate experience and relationships as key strengths. During his time in the legislature, Pope had taken progressive stances, including supporting paid family leave and a proposed constitutional, quote, Green Amendment for environmental right positions. That drew much criticism from Senate GOP leader William Scherer, who called Pope's views, quote, out of touch. The lieutenant governor of New Mexico presides over the state Senate and has limited executive powers. Recent holders of the office include current Lieutenant Governor Howie Morales, who announced he won't run for governor, have not advanced to a higher office. Wildfires across New Mexico and nearby states have filled the Albuquerque area and much of the state with a noticeable layer of smoke, leading to hazy skies and reduced visibility. While the smoke isn't currently at levels requiring a formal health alert, city officials and meteorologists are advising sensitive individuals, especially those with respiratory issues, to limit outdoor time. According to the National Weather Service, the haze is primarily from the Laguna Fire in the Jemez Mountains in northern New Mexico. That fire has burned around 15,000 acres. Additional smoke is drifting in from large fires in neighboring states, including the Dragon Bravo fire in Arizona's Grand Canyon region, the White Sage fire in the Kaibab National Forest, and Utah's France Canyon fire. Meteorologists explain that most of the smoke is at higher altitudes, contributing to the widespread haze, but not significantly worsening surface air quality. However, they caution that individuals that are sensitive to smoke or dust should consider minimizing their outdoor activities. Forecasts suggest the smoky conditions could persist through at least Friday, with potential improvement by next week, depending on wind patterns and fire activity. And in sports news, New Mexico United forward and longtime fan favorite Daniel Bruce has suffered a season-ending ACL and meniscus injury, according to a club announcement on Wednesday. The injury occurred during a training session late last week, sidelining Bruce ahead of the team's 2-1 home loss to Charleston, where he was noticeably absent from the active roster. Bruce, 29, is the last remaining player from the United's 2019 inaugural squad and holds club records for most appearances with 169 and assists in 21 in all competitions, along with 17 career goals. Known for the crowd signature Bruce chant at home games, he was a key part of the team's identity and connection with fans. In a statement, the Warrenton, England native expressed gratitude for the outpouring of support, saying, quote, the love and encouragement from family, friends, and the club has been amazing. I truly appreciate all the support in this challenging moment. Thank you, New Mexico. Somos unidos. This season, Bruce appeared in 10 USL Championship matches, tallying 1 assist over 187 minutes. His injury marks a major blow for both the club, on and off the field. The leading news is powered by the journalism of the Albuquerque Journal. If you enjoy hearing all of the stories we share with you here daily, please consider becoming a digital subscriber to the Journal by utilizing the discount code in our show notes. Every subscription helps support local journalism and allows us to provide you with the news that matters to you. Now taking a look at Albuquerque's weather forecast, showers and thunderstorms are likely today, mainly after 3 p.m., mostly sunny with a high near 92. As for this evening, showers and thunderstorms are likely mainly before midnight, mostly cloudy with a low around 67. To keep up with all the latest news from the Albuquerque Journal, you can visit our website at abqjournal.com. That's the leading news. I'm Gino Gutierrez. We'll be back tomorrow.